Hey guys, welcome back to Team Death Slinger. My name is Peter, and today we're going to look at a Zanbamon deck profile. The reason why is because I like Zanbamon, and I think he has a lot of potential. He kind of has the ability to come out really cheap if you're playing against a deck with a lot of colors, but against monocolored decks, he's not going to shine quite as much. So without any further ado, let's go right into it. We got 4 copies of BT6 Tsunomon for our egg. When you trash a card in your hand using one of your effects, you're going to draw a card. This is just our primary draw engine. We do have the potential to abuse some of the Dark Animal engine, along with the Purple Hybrid engine. And there's a lot of ways for us to draw cards off of this, especially with the Loweemon being another level 4 that lets us draw one, trash one. So 4 copies of this egg is going to help us find our pieces. We have 4 copies of the Ignitemon. When attacking, you can pop one of your other Digimon to delete an opponent's unsuspended Digimon with the same level. That's not going to come up too much, but we do care about the inheritable that gains us a memory when we play a Digimon by an effect. It's a good way to get some memory efficiency out of the Dark Animal engine. Then we have 4 copies of Goblimon. This card's inheritable is insane. It gains you a memory when you discard a card by an effect. This is actually going to keep Loweemon at a 3-cost Evo on your stack if you have this in the back. Otherwise, it is also going to trigger on the Cerberusmon X-antibody to get you a memory back when you Evo into it. If you don't have the Ignite in the stack to gain a memory off playing by an effect, you will have this inheritable in order to gain a memory off of the pitch. So no matter what, we should be able to get into the Cerberus X for just 2 memory instead of 3. Then we have 4 copies of the BT16 Ukkomon. When one of your Digimon moves from the breeding area to the battle area, you can reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 card or 1 tamer among them to hand. We are playing the Purple Hybrid engine, so we want to be able to find our tamers, and we want to be able to find our critical pieces for the Dark Animal engine or to actually build a stack. So this is still mandatory in this deck, even though it is not pure hybrids. It's going to help us find and select our pieces, so I'm still enjoying this at 4 copies. For our level 4s, 4 copies of Duskmon. If you haven't played this card before, it's going to change the color of one of your opponent's Digimon or Tamers on play and when Evoing. So it's a good floodgate. Well, not really a floodgate, but it stops your opponent from playing the game unless they're playing a tribal deck that can Evo on name. And then when attacking, you can Evo into a hybrid that is also level 4 in the trash for the reduced cost of 1. That's going to let you Evo into the Velgrmon so you can set up your mill plays. And then when this card dies to its own effect as Velgrmon, you're going to use its inheritable to play out a Tamer with a play cost 4 or less from the trash. That can let you play a Matt, a Koichi, or whatever other purple Tamer you have to play. Then we have 3 copies of the Velgrmon. Speaking of, on play and when digivolving, for each color your opponent's Digimon and Tamers have, you trash a card from the top of both players' decks. For each card this effect trashes, you gain 1 KDP. Ideally, in a perfect world, you should be milling 2 cards from your opponent's deck and your deck, making this an 11k for 1 check, and then you're going to activate the end of attack trigger to delete 1 level 4 lower purple Digimon to delete all of your opponent's Digimon at the lowest level. This just kills itself to wipe your opponent's board of the lowest level Digimon. If they're playing a single stack deck, this is a really devastating effect, and then you're going to be able to trigger the Duskmon inheritable to get a Tamer back. So 3 copies of this card for sure. Then we are on 4 copies of the BT18 Loweemon. When digivolving, you're going to draw 1, trash 1. It isn't worth pointing out that this does cost 3 to Evo on a level 3, so if you don't have the Goblimon in the back, you're going to be stuck paying 3 for this, but if you do have the Goblimon, you'll get the 1 memory back, and this is just a regular 2-cost Evo. When attacking, you can Evo into a purple or yellow Digimon card with a hybrid trait in your trash. That will not come up. We don't have the level 5s for this, and we don't have the Kaiser Leomons in this deck, but the inheritable might come up. When this Digimon would leave the battle area, you can play a Tamer with an inherited effect. So if this is Evo'd on a Koichi and then you go into the Cerberus and the Cerberus X, and that stack would die, you can get the Koichi back, which is kind of nice. For our level 5s, 4 copies of the BT16 Cerberus. On play and when digivolving, you return a Digimon card with the Dark Animal or Shaman trait from your trash to the hand. This is great because we are milling ourselves with the Velgrmon. This makes sure we can get Cerberusmon X-antibody back from the trash, so we can actually trigger the on-play effect to play a level 3 from trash. The inheritable on this card is also going to give one of our Digimon Rush when we play Digimon by an effect, so we can actually give that level 3 Rush if we need the extra damage to close out the game. Then we do have 3 copies of the Cerberusmon X-antibody itself. This Evo's on top of Cerberusmon without X-antibody for 0, so on our level 5 it will cost 0. And then on play we play a level 3 purple Digimon card from the trash without paying the cost. When digivolving, draw 1, trash 1. If you have Cerbi or X-antibody in its sources, you activate the on-play. So ideally, you should be setting this up so that you draw 1, trash 1, then play a level 3 from trash. Triggers an inheritable to gain you a memory back. And then our inheritable on this card is going to let us delete one of our other Digimon to unsuspend this Digimon. And that kind of is important because of the way Zanbamon works. So Zanbamon says he has 4 to Evo on a level 5, and when any of your other Digimon would digivolve into this card, you reduce the Digivolution cost by 1 for each color in your opponent's trash. Like I said, there's a lot of multicolored decks kicking around, and this card has the potential to be Evo'd into for a really low cost. 1 to 2 is actually not that crazy. It's pretty common in testing so far. Your turn, for every 2 colors in your opponent's trash, this Digimon gains security attack +1 and gets 2k DP. So obviously against a monocolored deck, this is just a vanilla boss monster that does not do a whole lot for you. But against any deck that is multicolored. This is going to be swinging in 2 checks, and it's going to evo for 2 instead of 3. And with the Cerberusmon X unsuspend effect, you can swing in for 4 checks with this guy and get a lot of damage down. And that's not even accounting for the fact that we are playing the purple hybrid engine, which is naturally really, really aggressive. So you're going to be getting in for chip damage while you set up to go into the Zanbamon. And then when you get the opportunity to get into him, you can swing in for your 4 checks and then just leave your opponent in a position where they probably have to kill you to stop themselves from losing. So I really do enjoy this boss monster, but I do want to stress this is a matchup dependent deck. If you play against a monocolor deck, you're just going to have a bad time. Zanbamon becomes practically useless. So that is an important consideration to think about if you're thinking about building this deck. I just like Zanbamon. We have 1 copy of the Anubismon. We have the Dark Animal Engine. There's no reason not to run this card. Plays his bodies back for free, and then that could potentially set us up to evo into the Zambamon, especially if we just play out the Cerberusmon, and then Cerberusmon triggers, plays us out at level 3, we go into Zambamon, and then we're set up for our 4 checks again. So mandatory 1-up in the deck. I'm on 2 copies of AncientSphinxmon because if we're going to play Zambamon, we're going to play AncientSphinxmon with it. I like the theming. I think it's cool. On play and when digivolving, delete one of your opponent's unsuspended Digimon. That's a great removal effect just on its own. And then all turns when this Digimon would leave the battle area, you may play 1 level 4 or lower Digimon with the Dark Animal, Mythical Beast, or Hybrid trait from your sources without paying the cost. This is going to hit every level 4 in your deck. You can play any of them back with this effect, which is fantastic. This is just going to float into a body if it's removed, and I think that's pretty good. Then I am on 1 copy of DeathXmon. You can go Ruin mode in this slot. I think DeathXmon complements this deck nicely. It can de-digivolve all your opponent's Digimon and kind of penalize them for going wide, which is something that this deck would kind of struggle with because we don't necessarily have the best top-end removal. We just kind of have the 2 of AncientSphinxmon, but if you're doing this, you're not getting into your Zambamon. And then if we are going for this play, we can't actually remove anything with the Velgrmon effect because we likely are using our memory that we would use for this play for the Zambamon. So DeathXmon, good, in my opinion. If you want the Ruin mode in this deck, you can go ahead and run it, though. Next, I've come back from the future where Protoform is $50, and I decided that's too much money. Run 3 Wisdom trainings here, or 3 Jax raids, or 3 regular X-antibody. Don't spend $50 on Protoform. Enjoy the game casually. Thank you. And then 2 copies of Matt Ishida. It's a memory setter, and it does enable our purple hybrid loop, so we can actually make sure that we keep doing the Duskmon thing, milling cards, and potentially grabbing back a piece when we need it, like a DeathXmon from the trash, an AncientSphinxmon, maybe even our Anubismon. So just a great tamer in general for purple hybrids. Then we're going to go 3 copies of Koichi Kimura. On play, you're going to draw 1 trash 1, and then the Inheritables on deletion gain a memory. Makes our Duskmon loop plays more efficient because we get 1 back off the play instead of it costing 2. And then I like 4 copies of the other Koichi Kimura from BT18. Start a main phase, you can trash a card to gain a memory as long as it's a hybrid or 10 warriors. All of our level 4 base is hybrid and 10 warriors, so we do have lots of targets there. You'll probably want to be pitching your Velgrmon, but Loweemon and Duskmon are fine targets if you have to. And then this also does have the 10 warrior trait, so you can pitch it away if you have the extra copies. So that is it for my Zanbamon deck profile. If you also enjoy this boss monster and you want a way to play him, I wanted to put this out there. I couldn't find anyone else doing the deck profile, so let me know what you guys think of the deck in the comments down below. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great day. Thank you to our YouTube members for supporting this channel. It's people like Langlong and Big Z11 who make videos like this possible.